y'all, it's Mina. Story time on how my mother gave me away and how I became a 304 at 12, part 1. Full disclosure, I am not the best at telling stories, so if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Let's get into it. So, about my mom, she gave us away when I was about 4. She was neglectful, abusive, and mentally ill. With my father, growing up, I did not know what a father was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he looked like. Because again, I didn't know what a father was. So my life changed when that white lady and them 3 big men came and took all 4 of us away. And that was one of the first fights I had. Because when I say, baby, we fought, okay? It's one thing, no matter how effed up my mother was, she always told us, you have your siblings. And if you have nobody else, you have your siblings. And that's what that was. We fought for each other until we couldn't fight no more. You hear me? So, fast forwarding, we all was in one home together. And something occurred. And they split us up. And it was the 2 boys and the 2 girls. The home I was in with my older sister started off okay, then it got bad. It went from bad to worse. And in that home at 4, that's when I got arrested. And when you first go into ACS, BCW, CPS, they tell you that they're there to protect you and to make sure that you're okay. And going from abuse and neglect at home with your biological parent, you know, when you have these people that are seeming to be caring and empathetic, you like, okay, I can work with this. And the first time that I said anything about being molested, me and my sister were separated. Now, okay, the second home I went to, my guard started to feel a little up. I was a bit different. I was more quiet because I started to get the same treatment that I was getting. You understand? And that was the first time that I was raped, and I was 5. Not gonna go into full detail about that, but I thought my life changed when I was given away. My life changed when I got raped. Let me know in the comments if y'all want part 2. Story time on how my mother gave me away and I became a 304 at 12, part 2. Alright, so now when this situation happens to me, of course, I definitely said something. I definitely said something. And I wasn't believed, of course. So that's when I just became like, F it. I just didn't care. And I got moved from that home to another home. And that home was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but that was okay. So I can say it about a total of, I can say I was in about 5 homes. 5 to 6 homes, I would say, give or take. And the last home that I was in, I would just say she was mean. She was really mean, really fucking mean, right? Now this one particular day, I'm in the front of the house, and she comes to me and tell me that somebody wants to talk to me. So I'm like, okay. So I get on the phone, and they're like, what's up, baby? I'm like, hey. They're like, it's your dad. Bitch, what? Right? So I'm like, hello. And he's like, oh, baby, don't you want to move with me? You going to come and move with me? And I'm like, I don't know you, man. Go that way. I don't know you. I'm not going to lie. All the things that happened to me within that time frame of me being born like, y'all don't even know the backstory on me being born. I forgot all about that part. Like, y'all would be like, ain't no way, ain't no how, girl, you lying. Anyway, so I'm like, just attitude, like, no. So he like, well, what you like? So I'm like, I like Barbie, because the girls like Barbie. I was a tomboy, but girl, I like me some Barbie sheets, okay? So I was like, I want some Barbie sheets. And he's like, all right, I can get you some Barbie sheets. And I was like, the black Barbie. He said, all right, no problem. And then he's like, and I said, I want my own room. That's exactly what I said. I said I wanted black Barbie sheets, and I wanted my own room, okay? Remember that for the rest of the story, right? So now I'm like, all right, so I'll come. I'll move with you. I'll come. So now visits start happening where I gotta meet him. So I started meeting him a couple hours at a time in the ACS building, the CPS building or whatever. And then he had his wife, which is my stepmother, and she was pregnant. And me and all my siblings would go and visit each other. That's how we would see each other at the facility place or whatever. And then eventually, I moved with him. And my stepmother. Now, my foster mother, when I say that girl was happy to let me go, when I say that's the first time I ever saw her took me shopping, when I say I had like 10 toothbrushes, 5 toothpaste, when I say the bag, I mean, if you know the old school laundry bag that was plastic that could zip, bruh, when I say she filled that ish to the top, she filled it to the top. Like, she made sure there was nothing I had to come back for. All right? So now I go with my father and we go to Brooklyn and Red Hook. All right. And at this time I am 8. All right. So now I meet my older brother from my father's side. And when I go in the house, it wasn't no black Barbie sheets. And I did not have my own room. And I thought my life changed from when I got given away, when I got arrested, and when I got raped to now. If y'all want part 3, let me know in the comments. Story time on how my mother gave me away and how I became a 304 at 12, part 3. Good morning, y'all. Thank y'all for the comments. Thank y'all for the love. I appreciate y'all. I was like shitting my pants when I made that post. Cause I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing this. Like, I'm really doing this. My therapist, my psychiatrist have not been the most amazing help. And I just felt like I healed. But the other day I was just boohoo crying about everything. So I'm like, I have to let this out some way because this is not fair to me. It's not. But I thank y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I adore y'all. But let's get into it. So like I told y'all, so when I got to the house, when I got to the crib, I would say the crib. For those who don't know what the crib is, that ain't a house, okay? I went to the crib. It was in the projects in Red Hook. It was a 2-bedroom, which is where my father and my stepmother slept, and then the room where my older brother slept. Okay? When I went in there and I ain't see no Barbie sheets, immediately, my whole attitude changed. First of all, growing up, I didn't have anything. Never had anything. Like, I was a bum. Like, mice in the bed, rats in the house, no food, like, nothing. So when I saw that, I was just like, yo, okay, here the fuck we go. Like, here the fuck we go. Like, here the fuck we go. It was just like, my mind was just like, okay. Okay. So, fast forwarding, I'm trying to give y'all like the important parts so I'm not dragging it all the way out. So, I'm like, oh, hell no. So, my stepmother comes in the room. She's like, you like the room? And I'm like, I have to share this. She's like, yeah. So, I'm like, what happened to my Barbie sheet? She's like, oh, we didn't get it. We didn't have time. So I didn't argue back. I didn't argue back. Growing up, I didn't argue back with adults. That's not what we did back in the days. So I go out to the living room. My father is not there. This is the first day. So he's there to drop me off, to meet me, to take me there. But he leaves to go, I don't know where. So now we go across the court to her mother house. I meet her family or whatever the case is. And that's that. All right. Now let's fast forward, because within, from me being 8 turning 9 and then 9 to 11, really being in Red Hook, it was really I can say I did start off very childlike. I was reading books. I was going to school every day. They had a washing machine, so I did have clean clothes. She had food stamps, so I did have some food. And for the first time so far, nothing is happening to me. Okay. Now, fast forward. When I am 10, so from 8 to 9-ish, 8 to 10, I was in Red Hook. And then we like moved to Brownsville. That's in Brooklyn still, but that is just the other side of Brooklyn. So now we get to Brownsville. Everything started off cool. And then eventually, here comes the BS. So my stepmother, my father was never in the house. Like, he was never in the house. He was always outside. And my stepmother now, at this point, we had chores. And when I mean we, I mean me. Okay? I would have to clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen, clean the living room. Mind you, I'm 10-ish, 11. So I have to clean the bathroom, clean the living room, clean the kitchen, clean my room. I was cooking and ironing clothes since I was like 5 in foster care. Okay? So I picked that back up when I was living with them. All right. Now I start doing all this. I have to take my little brother and my little sister outside every day with me. I would leave at 6 o'clock in the morning to walk from my house to the train, which is like 4 long blocks, and at 6 in the morning. Okay. And it was winter, so it was dark. So I would be on the train at 11 o'clock. At 6 o'clock in the morning at 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. Okay. I had to bring my little brother and sister to school every day with me. All right. I had to pick them up, so I never got to hang out with friends after school. When I got home from school, I had to do my homework, do my chores, take my siblings outside. And that was that. Like, that was that. Okay. I never had a birthday party. Never. When I say I never had a birthday party, I never. So, but the time that I finally do get a birthday party, I'm turning 11, and guess what the birthday party is? It's a bowling party. It's a Bratz bowling party. Whoop-de-doo. I'm excited. What does my stepmother do? She dresses my little sister and me the same, and then my father invited all of his friends. So it was the adults party, and my little sister got gifts on my birthday, and I didn't. And they forgot to sing happy birthday to me. Thanks. Ish is getting real, y'all. It's about to really start getting real. Let me know if y'all want part 4. Story time on how my mother gave me away and I became a 304 at 12, part 4. All right, so now they forget to sing happy birthday to me. All right, cool. That was the first. I had 2 birthdays with them. I'm not gonna lie, I had 2 birthdays, okay? And that was the first and last birthday that I had. All right, now let's really get into it, right? So now, I go to New Horizons, and I end up going to that school, and I was getting bullied, okay? Because I wasn't fly. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. And people were just cruel. Like, and that's how I ended up having my first fight for a bully. And I whooped that ass. Okay, girl, I got enough anger in me right now. I've been waiting for this day. Give me that. So now, I was there to go out with this boy. And I went out with him. And that was my first love. I fell in love with him. And he broke my little motherfucking heart. Okay. Now, every day after school, I was skipping after school and I was going with him to Half X. Now, My father and my stepmother found out because we was writing about it in the book in class and passing it back and forth to one another. And that's when I found out what punishment was, okay? I got my ass on punishment, for real. And they changed my school. And they changed my school to my stepmother's school. She was a school aide. So I started going there. And I was taking my brother and sister to school every day and picking them up, getting on the train. And that's what that was. My life was reverted right back to the same old thing that I knew. Right? So now, at this point, I have a new boyfriend. And now I'm turning 12. Okay? Now, remember I told y'all that we were living in Brownsville. Right now, we was only in Brownsville for like a year, I would say, because I remember being in Bed-Stuy at 12, because that's when I started 304. All right, so now I'm in school and I get my second boyfriend. Now in the new school, I'm 12. How old is he? 18. My new boyfriend is 18 and I am 12. So now I was always fighting. I started getting into gang banging and all types of craziness. It was just like, I was just all over the place. And one thing about me, I loved to dance. So I decided I want to start dancing. So I got into a group and I started dancing. And my father and my stepmother would always show up for my shows late, or they wouldn't show up at all. They'll miss me performing, or it was just, I couldn't get no way to show me that I was loved. So I started deterring from dancing to skipping practice to hang out with my 18-year-old boyfriend, right? And my stepmother knew he was my boyfriend. And my father knew he was my boyfriend. My father had an attitude about it, but he didn't do nothing about it, for real. And after I look at it, it's like, what? And now, me and my 18-year-old boyfriend start having X. Now I'm 12, okay? Now, being at 11 in New Horizons, I started having X after school every day. Like, when I say I was having X every day, I was like hypersexual. Like, it was bad. Like, when that happens to you, when you get SA'd, you either are really turned off from it or you're completely turned on. And when you're turned on to it, that's a pro and a con for me. But so now I started having X with my 18-year-old boyfriend in the stairs, all right, at his house, when nobody was home at my house. Like, I was just doing shit, okay? And it was just going down. Now, at 12, I had my first drink. I started drinking. I was drinking Devil Springs, okay? And my 18-year-old boyfriend took me to a party of his. He took me to a party. Let me know if y'all want part 5. It's going down. Story time on how my mother gave me away and I became a 304 at 12, part 5. All right, so now, like I told y'all, I was in middle school and he was in high school. So high schoolers in 11th and 12th grade was throwing a party, and of course he wanted his girl to go, his 12-year-old girl to go, right? And so I went to the party. Now, when I say I was drinking, I was drinking. And I remember I was just like, nothing spectacular that you would have fun with me, because I was drunk and I was just laying there. But then I rolled my head. I just remember rolling my head. And when I rolled my head, everybody was looking in the room. Everybody. And I just laid there. And when he was done, he got up, walked out of the room, and went to finish his party. Okay? Now, by the time I realized what is going on and what time it is, because look how old I am, I'm like, I gotta go. So now, I'm here with a messenger book bag, a green school Metro card, heels on, and it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Did he walk me to the train? No. Did he make sure I was okay? No. By the time I get in the house, my father and my stepmother are sitting on the couch, and my father looks at me and goes, "Good. Since you fucking drunk, go wash some fucking dishes." I went and I washed them damn dishes. Because the shit that I've been through, if that's all he got for me right now, F it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay? And of course, I go back to dealing with the same person, being treated like trash. And that was that. Now it's getting real. And I remember I had this nurse in my school named Abby. I loved Abby. Until this day, I still love Abby because she was my voice. Like, she was my voice. Abby would try to give me birth control pills and condoms. And my father found out that, well, he saw it in my bag. And when I say my father cursed Abby the fuck out, he cursed her out. He was like, "Daughter, no mother effing mother birth control pills. Itch, are you dumb? Don't get it my motherfucking order." And I was like, all of this? And Abby started crying. And I started crying because I was scared. And then I'm like, why are you talking to Abby like this? Right? So Abby, they ain't stop Abby. She said, "I'm not going to stop being there for your daughter because she need me. And I know that she need me. Y'all not there for her." And Abby was like, "Listen, it might have been against the rules, but Abby was like, listen, I'm going to give you these motherfucking birth control pills. Just come down here every day on lunch break and take one." Okay? And that's what I did. Until I'm like, F it. I don't need the birth control because it's just going to keep being a problem. It is what it is, right? So now, I end up pregnant. Now I'm effing pregnant. What do? I run to Abby. I'm not telling them, Abby, you're telling them. Abby calls my stepmother downstairs. And she tells her, I'm pregnant. If y'all want to know what happened, y'all already know what to do. Part 6, let me know in the comments.